nice, grateful answer. So different back growing up in the 80s. I'm originally from Los Angeles. I've been in Southwest Florida for 19 years. I lived in Naples for 13 years and been in Fort Myers for the remainder. But our special extracurricular activities was cooking, sewing, shop, working on cars. So it's so different. But financial literacy is very important because it's going to make the difference of you spinning your wheels and making a good life for yourself. So congratulations, guys. So here we are, Grow Your Nonprofit. A lot of people hear the name, let's see, there we go. So Grow Your Nonprofit is a fictitious name under Naples Image Consultants. So yes, you can have an LLC, and guess what? You can go to Sunbiz and create as many fictitious names as you want under your LLC in business. So I decided to do this because back in, I would say 2013, while I was building my career, a lot of people would ask, well, you know, they like the way I dress, so you should do image consulting. So hence, Naples Image Consulting. I used to help professionals and people who didn't know how to dress or didn't want to dress themselves with wardrobe audits and all that good stuff. So that's how that came about. So 2019, Grow Your Nonprofit was born after I had a wonderful career. I worked in Collier County government and transportation planning. We planted sidewalks, up bike lanes, expansion of I-75. That was really great. Went over to the mayor's office under Mayor Sori at the time. I was the public information officer. And from there, I worked at the shelter for abused women and children as a senior fundraiser. Then I got a great opportunity to be executive director of an eye clinic. It was a free eye clinic, the only clinic of this in the state of Florida. And then went on to be an executive director of a mental health institution, and then decided to go on my own as a consultant. So what's great about being a consultant and having your own company is that you have no borders. You can have clients globally. You can have clients in California, New York, all over the world, in which we do. So when it comes to nonprofits, my sweet spot are the startups, because oftentimes people are really passionate about starting a nonprofit, but what they don't understand is they really started a business, and they need to have a mindset of running their nonprofit like a business. And guess what? Your nonprofit can be profitable, because what profit means is, say you raise $100, your expenses are $90, $10, that's your profit, that's what's left over. So setting goals is very important, and so that's what we do with our clients. So who do we work with? We work with Collier University, we work with the CDC, Goodwill, NECAT, that's a client of ours in Miami. We work with the Association for Patients Living Abroad, the McGregor Clinic, the HIV clinic located in Fort Myers, and so many more. Our services, executive support, helping all things nonprofit. And those are a continuation of our services. So, what we're really here today is strategic planning. I know most of you probably already have businesses or thinking about starting a business, but when you do strategic planning, it's very important. The reason why I put chess up here, because that's really what it's about. It's about being strategic, it's about thinking 10 steps ahead. And not necessarily competing. I always like to think that I'm competing with myself because I want to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday. Because guess what? There's enough profit for everyone. There's enough clients for everyone, because people do business with people they like and people who they trust. So being authentic, having your customers or clients' best interest in mind is what's really important. So here we are, strategic planning. What is strategic planning? Basically, it's a strategy for your company. It's the direction your company is going to go into. Developing your business plans, putting them into action, and analyzing them on an annual basis. So, say for example, your goal was to have 10 new clients per month, where you measure that at the end of each month to see how many clients you actually achieved to measure your success. So you should always be doing that on an ongoing basis. Your overarching long-term and short-term goals, you might ask, what's that? Well, one of your short-term goals may be to hire an assistant. That is really the best use of your money. Hiring an assistant will allow you to focus on the big picture of your business development, while your assistant could maybe answer the phone, write correspondence, and so forth to help you further grow your business. One of your long-term goals could be to hire a manager to manage the day-to-day operations, again, while you continue to build upon your business and/or grow and expand your business. Your SWOT analysis, that stands for your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Some of the examples, when you're thinking about your business, that you could put into your strategic plan is scaling your business. You might ask, what is scaling? Well, that means elevating. So in order to elevate, you have to delegate. Has anyone ever heard that before? So delegating meaning, again, I'm hiring an assistant, I'm hiring a director of operations, because really, when you think about starting a business, have you started a business or you made a job for yourself? So we want to get out of the mindset, especially if we've been employees for a long time, of being a business owner rather than an employee of your business. So how do you know you have a business? Well, ask yourself a question, can you sell it? You have a business if you can sell it. If you were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, will your business continue? Ask that question of yourself. If it can continue, you've created yourself a business. And the more and more you work in your business, you also want to think about how can you scale, step back, and let it operate itself in sort of, nothing that's really, really passive, but in a passive way where, again, you can take a step back and look at other opportunities to continue to scale your business. Also, succession planning. So what happens? Maybe you decide to retire. Are your children going to take over your business, or you're going to hire someone that you're going to train to eventually take over your business? Also, crisis management. That is, a lot of companies don't really think about crisis management, because as you know, we just kind of got over the pandemic, and guess what? Hurricane Ian, and then Nicole. So we have to think about how are we going to operate our business when things happen. So we want to think about, as we build our business, and we're really good at that one core thing. So say that one core thing is, say if you detail cars, you're really good at that. In your strategic plan, you want to start thinking about what other complementary services you could offer your clients. So when we have clients, what we're doing for our clients, we're solving a problem. So what other problems may your clients have? So think about all those complementary services that you can continue to add onto your business, because guess what? Things change, customers come and go, people go on to other products, so you always want to keep scaling your business. So when you're embarking on the strategic planning process, when I work with my clients, this is my number one tool, because say you decided to go to Fort Myers Beach and you've never been there before. What's the first thing you're going to do? Someone? Go swimming? Okay. Okay, let me rephrase my question. Say you want to go to Fort Myers Beach and you've never been there before. How do you get there? A map. Well, back in our days, we would stop at the gas station and get a map or ask for directions. But we have some other device. We have a phone, right? GPS, navigation. It will tell us how to get there because we've never been there before. So that's the same thing with our strategic planning. It's a map to show us how to get from point A to point B to point C and so forth and so on. So the first thing we do is when you have a company, you could do things by yourself, but you can move mountains together. So surrounding yourself around the right team. So during the strategic planning process, it is key to have key stakeholders in place. That is all levels of your company. So your operations manager to the person who's answering the phone and the janitor, because you'll be really surprised as to what type of ideas they have, the input that could really scale your business. I remember hearing the story about Jeff Bezos. When he first started Amazon, which I believe was in his garage or his room, and he got an idea of, I think they were wrapping and packing boxes because it started off as a book company. And I think they were on the floor, and one of the employees suggested that they get a table because it would be faster to pack the boxes. And he just thought that was a great idea because he never even thought of it. And you see where Amazon is today. started off as a company selling books, and now they sell everything. And I think just about every other day, I have an Amazon box being delivered for something because I don't want to go to the store anymore. So just think about how that company has grown in such a short period of time.